Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd and Julie Chrisley's adoption of Chloe was never made final until a month or two before they left for prison. Todd and Julie Chrisley only finalized their adoption of Chloe just before they went to prison. On the first episode of their new Lifetime series, The Chrisleys, Back to Reality, released Monday, September 1st, the couple's daughter Savannah Chrisley revealed that her parents had only finalized the adoption of their youngest daughter, Chloe, 13, right before they went to prison. Todd and Julie were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion in June 2022. While Todd, 56, was sentenced to 12 years in prison and 16 months probation, Julie, 52, received 7 years in prison and 16 months probation. After the husband and wife reported to prison on January 17, 2023, President Trump granted them a full pardon around 28 months later. Chloe is the biological child of Todd's oldest son. Julie, who spoke from prison in the episode, said in reference to Todd's son Kyle, 34. Once we found out that she even existed, of course, we wanted to be a part of her life. Todd welcomed Kyle and daughter Lindsay, 35, with his ex-wife Teresa Terry and shares son Chase, 29, daughter Savannah, 28, and son Grayson, 19, with Julie. Her mother let us have her every other weekend, and then every other weekend turned into every other week. And then I'll never forget her calling my parents one day saying, "I need you to come get Chloe, we don't have anywhere to stay and I can't have her sleep in the car," Savannah recalled on the show. Savannah continued, "Then she signed over custody completely. Everyone goes through their own life experiences. Chloe is living a much better life than she would have ever thought about living," she added. Savannah went on to say that her father never terminated Kyle's rights due to believing Chloe was his son's daughter. The adoption was actually never made final until maybe a month or two before Mom and Dad left, Savannah said. "My dad could never bring himself to do it and to terminate their rights," she continued. "But they had to do that to make sure that when they left, that Kyle or Angela couldn't come back and get her. Obviously, she was going to be left in my care," Savannah added. The episode then captured past moments as Savannah balanced being a big sister and the caregiver of both Chloe and Grayson. "She is making sure that Chloe's in the best school and Grayson's college is paid for," Savannah's friend Pamela said. Grayson then added, "Oh, I've always been attached to Savannah's hip. Like I used to have this thing, I don't know why I did it, but I called my mom Mom 1 and called my sister Mom 2, he continued. "And I would yell, 'Mom,' and they would both respond. When it comes to the Chrisley family, nothing is ever simple or quiet. Between legal battles, reality TV drama, and family feuds, the Chrisleys have kept the public's attention for years. But the latest revelation about Todd and Julie Chrisley's adopted daughter, Chloe, has left fans both shocked and emotional. It turns out the Chrisley Knows Best star's adoption of their beloved granddaughter-turned-daughter was never fully finalized until just before the couple reported to federal prison. Sources close to the family revealed that the legal adoption, believed to have been settled years ago, was actually tied up in complex custody issues that lingered in the courts until a month or two before Todd and Julie left for prison. For those who have followed the family since the early seasons of Chrisley Knows Best, Chloe has been a bright, joyful presence. The daughter of Todd's estranged son, Kyle Chrisley, and Angela Johnson, Chloe was introduced to viewers as a bubbly toddler who adored her papa and Mimi. Her sweet personality softened even Todd's sharp edges, turning her into a fan favorite almost instantly. But behind the scenes, the custody situation surrounding Chloe was far from stable. Todd and Julie were granted full custody in 2016 after Kyle's struggles with mental health and substance abuse made him unable to parent. Angela Johnson, Chloe's biological mother, had also faced legal issues that complicated the arrangement. However, fans assumed the adoption had been fully completed years ago, until now. The legal maze behind Chloe's custody. According to insiders, the delay in finalizing the adoption stemmed from a mix of legal red tape, court scheduling issues, and evolving family dynamics. Todd and Julie always considered Chloe their daughter, one source explained. But the paperwork didn't match the reality. They were raising her, loving her, and providing for her, but technically the adoption wasn't finalized until right before they went away. The revelation has raised questions about who technically had custody of Chloe when the Chrisleys began serving their sentences in 2023. At that time, Todd and Julie were each handed multi-year prison terms for bank fraud and tax evasion, sentences that upended their family's entire structure. Chloe, now 11, has since been living with her aunt, Savannah Chrisley, who stepped into the role of guardian with remarkable poise and strength. Savannah has often spoken publicly about the emotional toll of raising her younger siblings, Chloe and Grayson, while simultaneously fighting to appeal her parents' convictions. In one of her podcast episodes of Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, she admitted that it hasn't been easy. "I went from being a sister to being a mother overnight. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but I've had to grow up fast. Chloe's been through enough already, and all I want is for her to feel safe and loved." A race against time. According to a family friend, the timing of the final adoption paperwork was incredibly tight. "They knew they were going away soon," the insider said. Todd wanted to make sure that everything was legally in order, so there wouldn't be any chance of Chloe being taken away or caught up in more legal drama after they left. It was very important to him that she was fully, officially his and Julie's before that happened. The insider continued. They fought tooth and nail to make sure Chloe would be protected. The courts finally finalized the adoption just a few weeks before they had to report to prison. It was one of the few things that gave them peace. Peace, however, has been complicated by the ongoing public scrutiny surrounding the Chrisley family. Angela Johnson, Chloe's biological mother, has made several attempts over the years to regain custody, claiming she was unfairly cut out of her daughter's life. While those efforts have been unsuccessful so far, sources say the delayed finalization of the adoption may have fueled some of those legal challenges. Still, Savannah and the rest of the Chrisley siblings have remained steadfast in their defense of Todd and Julie's parental rights. "There's no question in our minds," Savannah has said. "Chloe is their daughter. Period. No matter what anyone says, or when a judge signed a piece of paper, they have loved and raised her since day one." Todd's emotional letters from prison. In letters written from prison, Todd has reportedly expressed deep emotion about Chloe's well-being. "She's my heart," he wrote in one message shared privately among family members. "Every time I see her smile in a picture, I feel closer to God. I know He's watching over her while I can't." Julie has also been vocal about her bond with Chloe, often describing her as a blessing that changed the course of our family. Before entering prison, Julie recorded a heartfelt message for her children, specifically addressing Chloe. "You are my sunshine. You've brought so much joy into my life, and I will never stop being your mama, no matter where I am." Those who know the family best say Chloe's presence gave Todd and Julie strength during the darkest times of their legal battle. "When everything else fell apart, the show, the business deals, the friends, they still had Chloe," said one longtime family friend. "She reminded them what mattered most: love, faith, and family." Chloe's life now. These days, Chloe is said to be thriving under Savannah's care. She's enrolled in private school, involved in extracurricular activities, and surrounded by extended family support. Savannah often shares updates about her on social media, though she's careful to protect her privacy. "She's resilient," Savannah recently said in an interview. "She's been through so much for her age, but she's stronger than anyone gives her credit for. I just want to make sure she never feels abandoned or unloved." Fans of Chrisley Knows Best have rallied around the family, sending messages of encouragement and prayers. Many have commented that Chloe's bright smile in recent photos shows just how much love still surrounds her, even with Todd and Julie behind bars. A complicated legacy. The revelation about the delayed adoption adds yet another layer to the Chrisley family's ongoing saga. On one hand, it underscores the chaos and uncertainty that have followed them for years. On the other, it highlights the enduring strength of their family bond, a love that transcends legal paperwork and public scandal. For Todd and Julie, the late finalization of Chloe's adoption wasn't just a legal formality. It was a declaration of love and commitment. Even as they faced the unthinkable: separation, public humiliation, and prison, they made sure that Chloe would always have a home, a name, and a family.